Right now, we are warming up and thawing out after a couple of cold days. And you know what? We're celebrating by getting out in the garden. So today we get that first look at new annual varieties that will make a statement in your front yard, from flowers with bold new color combos to some you might have never seen before. Lloyd from Olsen's Greenhouse is here to tell us what we're going to watch for this season. Good.
Hey.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, hi, Amy.
So good to see you. I was telling him I'm sad because I live at such a high elevation. I'm not going to be planting for a while, but I know other people can. So
well, this is a great weekend for it. Like all the cold weather and snow is breaking out, and we're going to be warm and sunny.
I know. So how are you feeling about this season's new flowers?
Oh, we can't wait, and there's so many new exciting colors. This is the best part of my job because we get to travel all over the world and meet with breeders that are coming up with all these new colors and things, and then we get to bring them back to Utah, and what we do is we put them in a trial garden for a few years sometimes, just to make sure that they're going to perform in our climate, which is kind of unique in Utah.
It is very unique.
Yeah.
Depending where you live, something might not live, right? So
exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
And you've done so much research for us to find these new varieties, and you found a lot of them.
Yeah, this first variety we're going to talk about that I'm going to show you today comes right out of the trial garden, and it really surprised us. It's not a new color or anything, it's the habit that's really unique about this. This plant is a Petunia, and that shot was from our trial garden.
Gorgeous.
That was 3 plants, and it covered over 100 square feet out of 3 little annual plants. This
I was going to say, how big? So this is one plant.
This is one plant, and it's just getting started. One plant will cover about 35 to 40 square feet, which means they spread like over 6 feet from each plant.
Wow, I love that,
and then
I love when things cover.
Yeah, and it gets covered with flowers too. So
this is called the Deco Max.
Yeah,
for
Petunia
people
Deco Max. And if you've planted Supertunia bubblegum before, which is another great variety that spreads a lot, this one spreads even farther, but it doesn't get as tall, so it doesn't kind of fall apart a little bit later in the summer. This one will stay more like a carpet, only like 8 to 10 inches tall, a carpet of color. So it's
carpet
amazing.
of petunias. Who doesn't love that? Okay, and is this the Supertunia Hoya?
Yeah, Proven Winners calls all of its hoopla.
Hoopla. Sorry.
Yeah. So Proven Winners calls all of its petunias Supertunias because they spread a lot. Like this one will get 2 feet tall, 2 feet wide. But this is a new color. So I introduced last year to Brooke the Remarkable, and Proven Winners has taken that genetic, and they've called it this Hoopla, which is just kind of a cool, it's got that white rim, but I love the contrast between white and purple.
Yeah, they're calling it Vivid Orchid.
Yeah.
Is that the color? I love that.
This is Vivid Orchid, yes.
Yeah,
correct.
That's a really vibrant, fun color.
Supertunia Vivid Orchid.
This one almost names itself the Blazing Star, but I have to ask you, Biden's Blazing Star?
Biden's
this political?
is the genus.
Okay.
No, it's not Biden's. It's not his.
Okay, so don't be turned off if you're not, a Biden fan.
But it is Biden's the genus.
Okay, and the Blazing Star.
Yeah, Biden's was kind of a weed that had a tiny little flower. They've been breeding this flower to get a lot bigger. But what I like about this new Blazing Star color is, again, the contrast between that dark, deep maroon color in the middle and the yellow on the edge of the petal.
Well, and the leaves are darker. Right. So then that really pops. It really pops.
People love that. It's kind of like a chocolate green color. And people love that because it makes the rest of the flowers kind of stand out and pop.
Now, this one is just full of blooms. Let's pronounce it correctly. The James Brenia Safari Dusk.
James Brenia was another kind of weedy shrub down from South Africa. But because it's from South Africa, it performs and thrives in our hot Utah summers. So a lot of people know Bacopa as an accent plant. It's got the little white flowers. It was really popular, but it hates the heat and it hates the sun. James Brenia is another accent plant, even bigger blooms though than Bacopa, brighter colors, but it will thrive all summer long in Utah's desert.
When I think some people like me are a sucker for a lot of blooms because it just brings so much color. So much color.
Exactly.
That's what we've got here, though, too. And the Pechoa.
And the James Brenia pairs really well with the
Pechoa.
Because
of the little
because
dark
that color
accents.
is right in the throat of the bloom here. So this is called Blue-Eyed Beauty. And it's a Pechoa, which is a cross between Petunia and Calibrachoa. And the reason they do that is so that it has the best characteristics of both. And it'll really thrive. The Petunia, we all know and love. It thrives in Utah's climate. But it kind of gets beat up when rain comes or wind or something like that. The Calibrachoa bred into this helps it stand up to the weather better. Or what I like to do is if you're overhead watering, like you have sprinklers that water your flowers, Pechoa, which is branded as Super Cal, these are Super Cals, does super well for overhead watering because it stands up to that overhead water.
Yeah, which I do because just easier for me.
Yeah.
But okay, and blue-eyed, you can remember that because you can see a little bit of a blue hue on the center.
Exactly.
Okay, what's next? This is another Saffron Finch.
So Saffron Finch is another proven winner. We've got it in a basket here combined with the blue-eyed, and it really makes it pop. But this is breeding at its finest. So they've been working to get a bright yellow flower that holds that color all season long, and that's what they've done. So Proven Winners calls this Saffron Finch. If you're looking for yellow petunias, this is the way to go.
The yellow, I love the yellow. And this is really interesting.
This is the hoopla.
Oh, this is right here, the Painted Love, is that what we're calling?
Oh, excuse me, yeah, Painted Love. Painted Love.
It looks painted.
So this
is,
like
a watercolor.
And it kind of looks tie-dye. I love this new color. Again, it's a vegetative petunia, so it spreads and gets bigger, but it's this color that makes it stand out. So Vivid Love, it reminds you of the 70s and the hippie movement.
It does look tie-dyed. Now, I told you, we're saving the best for last.
Right.
That was my question because for me, dahlias are one of my favorite flowers, and the colors on this is just unique.
This is a brand new color of dahlia, and it's got the yellow in the middle. It kind of fades into cream and then pink at the edges. But this one's called Maggiore.
Maggiore.
Do
we need to put the Italian spin on it? Maggiore, yeah.
Yes. So Maggiore Fun is the name. Now they named it Pomegranate, and the breeders of this are from Netherlands. I don't see pomegranate. Maybe you want to rename it.
Maybe a little bit.
I see more pink lemonade or something like that.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
But the name's not important. It's the look that's important, and this one's beautiful.
This is a standout. Help us. We're going to put a few in a planter.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind grabbing me a couple pots.
Oh.
So what I've done over here is we have the planter already started, and I've got two thrillers in here. I've got the new cypress grass, which is super popular amongst gardeners. It's a newer thriller. This grass kind of gets a bloom with grass blades on it.
You've already got my favorite, the dahlia.
We got the dahlia. And then what we're going to do is combine the blue-eyed beauty.
And the blazing star.
Put a little bit of yellow in to help contrast. And so here's our thrillers. The petunias are fillers, and they mound and whatnot. And then grab me a James Britannia, if you wouldn't mind.
Oh, you think I remember what that is? Okay, it's this one, right?
This one from South Africa. And what we do with these is these are spillers. So these are the three components to designing a great hanging basket. We use the spillers to kind of trail over the edge and soften the edges of the container. And you put those colors together, and they all work off of each other. But then you've got the design elements for structure as well.
The filler, the spiller.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes it easy. Okay,
and
where
Mom
can people...
would love it if you could design this yourself and put a little effort into it rather than having us do it for you.
You can't do wrong with flowers, I don't think. So where can we find these new varieties?
Olsen's Greenhouse sells to Home Depot and Walmart and a little bit to Costco all across the state.
I love that because sometimes people will say, oh, I buy local. This is buying local, guys.
Exactly.
We're buying from Olsen's. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Amy.